Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you about like terms and how do we actually define like terms. Usually we will find the things that are exactly the same to group them together and they will be considered as like terms. And obviously for those who are very obviously different from one group, then we'll consider them as another group. So let us go to some of the example and then we can decide whether those group can be grouped together or not. Okay, let's start with question 1. You can see that it's called 9p and 5p. And you understand that because both of them has p inside, so they could be considered as like terms. But for example, if there are some variation, for example, is 9p minus 5p squared, then just to remind you that they are not exactly the same because one is p squared and the other one is p. So here you can see that this is exactly the same. So you can do the subtraction immediately. So which means the answer could be 4p. I hope this question is okay with you. Let's just move on to question 6 as another example. So when you're not too familiar with like terms, I would suggest you to highlight the like term using the same color first, and then gradually you can just by looking at it. So to begin with, you can have a look. It's 6f and 8f and 9. Clearly, these two groups has f inside, and whereby 9 is another group. So after identifying two groups, I will make sure that I add the same group together. So here will become 14f. Make sure you include the f because we can't miss that out. And then for 9, because it's a standalone group, so we can just do plus 9 here. And there's no further action we can do because they are not like terms anymore. So let's move on to another question to get yourself more understanding. So here we have gone through the addition and subtraction. So I'll suggest you to look at question 7, which we will do some multiplication. So here we know that 7 with a bracket with something inside, it means that it's 7 times that something. So we will do 28 is 7 times 4 minus 14z. Then I want to ask you a question. With this, can we further to do any addition or subtraction? Are there any like terms here? No, right? But sometimes, most of the time, teacher will require you to simplify the answer. So what I would do is to make sure that I factorize it in the sense that I will drag 14 out and add a bracket, which means times 2 minus z. Okay, let's move on to question 2, just as a recap. So now we're back to addition and subtraction. We need to highlight those two terms that are exactly in the same group. Let me give you some time to have a look at it. Okay, I can see that 4k and 5k should belong to the one group, and whereby the other should belong to the another group, because this does not have any k inside. So immediately, I should be able to write it is 9k minus 17 as the answer. Sometimes you might miss out some of the like terms, so you have to double check in your answer at the end. Can you see any like terms? If not, that could be the final answer. So you can see that at the bottom, we still have 4 other questions to give you as a practice. Do make sure that you practice them, and then I'll see you next time in our next lesson. Thank you.